this idea that people are retributive, that the Daily Mail or the Daily Express or other tabloids would have us, they aren't. Most communities are perfectly aware of who needs to be locked up, who's actually a very sad case, who's just been stupid and needs, dealt with and has to just straighten up. So I think, what we managed to get there was right. How is it affected in Scotland? Well, the numbers have been marginal, but I think, the ability, to move to 1 year without, the world coming to an end shows that people have recognised that actually locking people up isn't the best way. There was some turbulence along the way, and it's probably relevant to situation south of the border at the moment, because we did have a knife crime issue. It's not entirely gone away, but it was major at one moment, with far too many young men dying in Scotland and calls for mandatory sentences of 6 months, then 2 years or whatever else. We had to hold the line about that. So some of it's about just having the political courage to hold the line. Here's Scotland at the moment. It's in a better place. I think the public accept that, prison should be for those who have to go to prison, not for those who just commit offences that can be dealt with in other ways. It's very, very expensive. Building prisons isn't the way to go, especially when you can be and need to be building schools, houses, hospitals, or whatever. Prison numbers are sadly rising again in Scotland. Some of that remains the perennial problem about poverty and how we address things. Equally, I think changes made that I disagree with on ending automatic early release. The government has to accept the consequences of their actions. I disagreed with that, and they're paying a price now. But, the whole ethos in Scotland, I think what can show to the south of the border is, it's not the end of the world to persuade people who I think are open to it, especially in the communities who actually suffer from crime, not the communities who think they suffer from crime but don't actually, that people shouldn't routinely be going to prison for the default. The senior judiciary sign up for it. The difficulty is lower down. We've never made it absolutely mandatory. It is obviously discretionary and it's open to that. It's very difficult, I think, for a minister to overcome that. But certainly in Scotland, the senior judiciary are there. Those training the judiciary are on script. And I think they just have to continue to do that. But if it isn't working and sheriffs continue to flout it, then you ultimately have to make it mandatory. But that would be for others to decide upon and advise upon. But that's the background. I think I'm conscious that there's others with much more expert detail to say. It can be done. It should be done. It's not politically unpopular because actually you speak to people in the communities that suffer most, they know who needs to go to prison, and it's not those that are going in for short sentences. They at most are a nuisance, but they know who they are and they know what the problems are. So my view in south of the border would be get on and do it.